Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's reaction video. Brett, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, you were just frozen for a second there, but it's okay. You're fine. You're back. So today we have an album review for you. Brett doesn't know what it is we've got in store for you, so I'll just share the screen and show you the request. So this is from Rudy Head Bang Army 5583. So come on, try review the album Retas by VOB.
Oh, I think I've heard of them. Yes, same.
So that is what we're going to be doing. So let's have a look at the album. Can you see this page?
Yes.
So it's a short album, only has 9 songs, 35 minutes long. And what's interesting, if we go through the songs here, we've reacted to a number of these already.
Okay.
So what's the Holy Nobel today? I'm sure we've done that one.
Yes.
PMS, we've done that one.
Yes.
Age-oriented, we've done that. The Enemy of Earth is You. I think we've done that as well.
I think we've done that, yeah. I wasn't sure about the age one, but Enemy of yeah.
Pretty sure we have, yeah. Kawani we haven't done. Not Public Property, I'm sure we've done.
Yep.
God Allow Me Please to Play Music, I'm sure we've done.
I think, yeah.
School Revolution, I think we've done that one as well.
Yeah, I think, was School Revolution the first song we ever did of theirs, maybe? No.
I don't know.
But it sounds familiar. I mean, to be fair, they're all quite similar sounding in one regard. But, yeah, okay.
This is really interesting. So it's we could be reviewing an album where we actually have heard nearly all of these songs before, I think apart from track 5. And what's interesting as well is normally, well, not all of them, but some of them we've done where they've been played live.
Yeah.
So I guess this is going to be like produced in the studio, apart from the last track, which was live in Jakarta, which is the same song anyway as track 7, just the live version. So there we go.
Which may have been the one we reacted to.
Yeah, you might have reacted to that very, very one, yeah. So what are you thinking? You looking forward to it?
You know what? Regardless of that, I am actually, because we've actually, well, I know, quite enjoyed VOB. So it'd be interesting to do it from an album perspective as well, and even a couple of songs that we might have not heard. See what they're probably going to be in the same vein as the others, but no, I mean, like I said, I've always had high praise for VOB. So yeah, I think it'd be an absolute honour to listen to an album of those, and it'd be interesting actually if the songs still feel okay, back to back, because in the past obviously we just listened to the one song, react, and moved on to next thing. So how repetitive it may feel back to back, that's me being presumptuous and negative, I suppose, but no, we're really looking forward to listen. And as I said, it's only 9 songs, 2 of which are the same, short album. So yeah, bring it on.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, like you say, it'd be interesting to kind of see what we think about them when it's their songs back to back. So yeah, looking forward to it, and hoping for the best. And so we'll see you guys in a moment. We're going to head off and listen to the album. So we've now listened to the album. We're going to jump straight into it with track number 1, which is called What's the Holy Nobel Today? So this song for me kind of felt like rap, really, almost rap-like, I suppose. Had an unusual style to it. Has that kind of typical upbeat, loud metal, heavy metal kind of feel to it, but the singing style isn't what I would call that sort of typical metal style. The instrumentals in this particular song did seem a little bit kind of jumpy. And I remember this song from when we reacted to it on our channel earlier. So yeah, that's all I've got for that one.
Listen, I'm going to be honest before I get into my stuff here. I haven't got a lot of notes on a lot of these songs purely because, again, a lot of them we obviously have sort of probably listened to and viewed in previous ones. So if anyone wants to get probably more in depth, it's worth checking those ones out. But I do have some random facts that I was found whilst I was sort of listening through. So I might throw some of those here and there as we go along. But it's sort of interesting. Like, obviously we've had this one before, as well as love the songs on this album. But yeah, we go straight into sort of the rock and metal side of things. We have that sort of throughout. Yeah, there was sort of a little bit of rapping, but I think there's some other songs that we'll probably get into, which it's definitely more prominent than with this one here. I feel, looking back at the others, I think this is definitely one of the more screamy, shoutier ones than. But at the same time, I've always said VOB, it still feels kind of enjoyable and listenable to listen to, which we've always kind of said there. Because I was always worried, and I probably will say this a bit more as we get to the end, in terms of it's a different kind of experience listening to it. The songs about sort of visually seeing them without seeing sort of live versions as well, as we'll come on to there. But a classic VOB opening track.
Yes, good point there. So I'd say as well, that was probably the most kind of one of the more shoutier types of songs. So the next track then was PMS. So a really good start to the singing with this one. I like the way the song is being sung. I thought, okay, this is actually good. I don't remember reacting to this one, but I know that we have done. And halfway through, we have this kind of long instrumental, which is actually quite a prominent feature in most of these songs, actually. So I know it's only track 2, but I made a kind of a prediction here, or a comment, that I would be surprised if there's another song on the album that I will like as much as this one, which we'll come to later as we go through it. So I really like this one. This is a good song, really good song.
Yeah, so this one's obviously not as intense as the previous one, and again, really likeable, listenable, which I know don't sound like great compliments, but I think for this style of music, this genre of music, it definitely is. This one, for here, the main thing was that a sort of American teen movie feel to it. And again, Final Hunt sort of explained that, and you can only sort of listen to it to sort of get that feel. So you could argue almost into the pop region, I suppose, of this song. It's definitely one of my more favourite tracks on the album. So I can see why you probably made the comment that you did. And I found for the title, I can't remember exactly what it stands for, but I think it translated as completely independent women, which we know VOB has a lot of their sort of, I was going to say political message, not political, but what's the word? Protests or good messages to put through. Yeah, protest probably the better sort of one put through.
Okay, so track 3 was age oriented. This one, like with track 1, also has that kind of rap style of singing in parts. And then there's another singing style that came into it. Heavy instrumentals as usual, playing a big role. And it's another song that we've definitely reacted to, that I remember.
Yeah, as you said, one I should probably try and mention which ones we have reacted to, so people can probably go and see a more sort of in-depth one with that one there. The main thing I've put with this one, this was sort of a good mix between the two previous tracks that we've had there. So we had a bit more of the sort of more heavy metal, rocky, shouty parts from the first one, whilst also being, again, I'm not going to use the word like popular or anything, but a little bit softer than sort of the first one. So just a little interesting fact for this one here. So I found out, because they're obviously quite young, was there. So originally the band, apparently, now again, if anyone knows this more in depth and tells differently, but apparently there used to be a band, and it was of 15 members of VOB.
15?
And they used, 15 members. So obviously very all similar, who wanted to try and be music revolutionary in some ways, but they mainly did covers of Jessie J, and Room 5. So again, if anyone knows any different to that, I don't see why it would be wrong, to be honest, but you never know when you do research stuff there. But I thought that was.
But what's that got to do with this song?
No, just because I didn't have many points there, I just thought I'll throw it in there with that. It was mainly because of their age side of things, and I feel obviously you can imagine being younger, just doing Jessie J and Maroon 5 covers, all 15 of them, and then turned into VOB as we know them.
And if somebody wants to leave a request for us to react to that, we'd be happy to do that if that exists on YouTube. Okay, so the next track was The Enemy of Earth Is You. So again, I remember reacting to this one too. It's another song with a long instrumental in the middle. As I said earlier, that's quite a common theme with most of these songs. Don't have too much to say about this song overall, really. I was kind of thinking of things to write, but it was struggling. It just feels quite average for me, this one.
Yeah, so even though I know we normally see in the past where the songs are quite, when we like to have variation, and it's hard with this one because I do feel there is kind of variation, but really in the grand scheme of things, there isn't really. And that's why I think the notes towards the end now obviously don't come as much as that. So yeah, one that we reacted to, this was actually one from our recent 2023 Backstreet Gent competition.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I checked that one there. So they were lucky not to go through in that one. This was very head boppy, very head banging, but still the usual listenable way of it from there, and more apt with sort of the lyrics. So I found obviously this was done after the 2016 floods in Indonesia. Remember those? So again, it was sort of an anti-protest, anti-politician. Oh, sorry, no, I can't remember writing it. Anti-pollution song, which obviously nowadays in 2023 is very apt at the moment. So yeah, I just found it really more sort of fitting for nowadays rather than what it was sort of being talked about, what's that, 8 years ago? So yeah, very interesting.
Okay, so moving on to Kawani, which is a song that I didn't recognise, and I believe it's the only song we haven't actually reacted to on the whole album. And I think I understand why now, why no one's requested it. So a long instrumental at the start of this one, no lyrics yet. Then we had a complete change of instrumentals, still no singing. Then another complete change of instrumentals, still no lyrics. So I think at this point, as we're getting towards the end, I just realised, it's just going to be an instrumental track. Which, by the way, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I quite like the different range of sounds going on, different parts to it. I like the fact as well it was placed in the middle of the album to kind of break it up a little bit. So it was kind of almost like an interlude, but it wasn't an interlude. It was because it was, long. So yeah, I actually quite appreciated that.
Yeah, I don't think I can add any more than what you sort of said there. It's exactly the same things as you said it, in sort of exactly the same from here. But what I've got here, so there's notes of sort of sundances music, which I think is a type of music found in Indonesian, and I think this is what this song was sort of influenced by as well. Obviously, I say influenced, obviously it was still very rocky and very heavy metal, but it did try to bring some Indonesian culture into that. I mean, if I hadn't read that, I wouldn't have known any different to that. But at least that was sort of a nice thing with that, really. And I can imagine sort of Alec Barter making an appearance maybe would be good to see, because there was obviously some nice sort of softer guitar bits. I thought, yeah, imagine it was Alec Barter with VOB. That'd be, what a dream combination. Very weird. I don't know how it would ever work, but why not? Stranger things have happened.
Okay, so that brings us on to track 6, which is Not Public Property. So this feels quite different at the start. Very different, well, quite different to what we had in the previous 5 songs before it. I've just felt with this one, the singing is more prominent and clearer in this song. Another long instrumental, as we said, it's a common theme. And the difference with the singing is that some of the singing is kind of happening, taking place without very sort of overpowering loud instrumentals going on in some parts. So yeah, this one kind of stood out for me. I remember reacting to this one as well.
Yeah, so one we've reacted to before. It's funny because actually for me, I didn't fully actually remember this one, and it felt weird. It felt like I was listening to it for the first time again. But as you said, yeah, it's definitely definitely that more sort of focus on the voice and the singing, and you can definitely feel sort of the deep meaning from it. I feel like it could have been one of the only ones that really sort of made a difference when listening to it. But at the time listening to it, I thought I don't specifically remember it, but I really enjoyed listening to it. Obviously, again for this one here, yeah, again, it's definitely up there as one of the more preferred songs on the album.
So track 7 was God Allow Me Please to Play Music. So the singing in this one has definite similarities to the previous song, which we just talked about. Again, very clear and prominent singing voices. Again, I remember reacting to this song at the time. I think what I like about this song is just not particularly intense. And for me, this is the second best song on the album after PMS. I think it's pretty good. And I just appreciate the clear and uninterrupted lyrics.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, I don't know if it's worth mentioning, obviously this song's going to be repeated at the end. So I don't know, I might say a bit more when we get to it from there. But as you said, yeah, again, the more sort of focus on the lyrics. Song that we done before. Really, I remember doing it then. I remember enjoying it then, and I remember listening to it this time again, enjoying it again. And yeah, I even managed to be able to pick up on some of the lyrics. So yeah, I want to sing to show my soul. I'm not a criminal. I'm not the enemy. I want to sing to show the world my soul, which again really came through massively through that. And again, really head boppy. The classic thing where it's obviously a genre we're not used to, but still really listenable and really liked it. And I think it's definitely up there, one of the better songs.
So next up we have School Revolution. So just an instrumental to begin with. It's a long song, this one as well. So we had a bit of rap going on, and then this kind of shouty, angry style of singing. And then a kind of more standard type of singing as well. So different singing types within the song, which I liked. Again, I remember reacting to this song too. Quite instrumental heavy, like most of the songs on the album. And I just say it was a good, solid song. Not up there in the top 2, but maybe pushing for 3rd place.
Yeah, again, something done before. I remember doing this one as well. So this way we're having the emphasis on the first time we sort of him sort of doing the rap things. Rap-tastic on this one. So again, really good. And as you said, there are different elements of singing styles and music being played. I think with this one, like with probably one of the previous one, I can't remember the name of it, but I think a generally good all-rounder. Nothing too sort of over the top. Lots of different elements to that. Has that sort of political thing you could get through to that straight away. It's quite enjoyable. So again, whilst we're on that, so another fact here. So they're actually apparently there's a lot of they get slated quite a lot for wearing their hijabs whilst performing and stuff. And I remember one of the early ones, and it probably was the reason I'm saying it on this song here, where it's sort of saying it's funny watching it, and like not saying that I enjoyed it more because they were wearing it, but it definitely does probably affect whilst they're wearing and you're seeing them perform. It does do so. I really can't sort of explain the best way, but I'm sure you sort of understand what I'm trying to say. That as I say, I can see why people would seem for they're just doing it to get more views or more likes or cause controversy by doing it.
But I suppose that what I'd say to that is, do they wear their hijabs in everyday life?
But this is the thing. This is everyone's going to go into like, well, we'll have to if they strongly believe, and then why would they? Would they not? So it seems to be strange. So I don't know how much into that it goes, but it was a really interesting point because it definitely did have a striking effect. You know, when you see him perform, because especially when like you just don't see that. I'm sure a lot of people don't see that's genre music. So it probably has that element, but at the same time, as you're probably saying, that's probably how they feel more comfortable. That's what they want to wear. So yeah, I just thought it was quite interesting.
Okay. So the last track then was God Allow Me Please Play Music. This was a live version in Jakarta. So the start feels quite different to the original album song, I thought. But it's like, oh, okay, now I recognise it after it started. They started singing. So Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same as the album version, just the sound to it feels a bit different. So for me, I'm just not sure whether it is really worth putting this on the album. I don't really see the point of this. But I know that I think sometimes you do get that on albums, especially like on maybe bonus tracks, or deluxe versions or something. So yeah, but it was good. Good to hear this a decent song again, but just not really sure it was really needed.
Yeah, interesting. So I actually really like this version. It's hard to say maybe a lot more because it is still quite similar, but I know I felt the lyrics a bit more powerful in this one, and maybe because we just heard it and it felt more familiar, enjoyed it that way. But I really liked it. But I do agree. Sorry, I know it's going to be too negative. I don't disagree with the point you make in terms of having it on there. And I think it was weird because it's literally just the song just before as well. So it wasn't like it was the first track and then suddenly last one you still forgot. You literally just heard it. And then made me think, well, why did they not maybe put some more other live tracks? They didn't have to put loads of others because they are good live. And it made me realise actually I do, even though I love the album, which I know we'll talk about here, really enjoyed actually hearing the live version. Obviously, seeing the perform has it. You could probably say for most artists and most songs as well, to be honest. Yeah, so agree with you in terms of maybe didn't need to have it, but then it becomes a very short album of songs that we know quite a lot already. But I look at the other one and think, actually, well, why not add a few more live versions of songs? Not necessarily the ones that have already been played, it could be different ones, but yeah, or have it like as a separate disc or a bonus contents. But yeah, nice way to end. And yeah, it ended up being to finish off, my favourite song in the album was the live version of that one.
Okay, so we're going to wrap up now and summarise. So I think I can speak for you here as well. At the beginning, we were a little bit worried. It's one song after another of this sort of hard rock metal that we're not generally huge fans of. So we had our concerns, but for me, I still liked it, even though it was obviously one song after another. They're songs that I was obviously familiar with anyway, having reacted to all of them apart from the instrumental track 5, and I still liked it. It obviously doesn't have, like you said, it's not quite the same as when you're actually watching them and seeing them perform. But it made me appreciate sort of how much variety they have in a way, because generally I'd say the kind of the instrumentals were kind of did follow the same pattern. It was quite similar, and in the middle of the songs there was a lot of long instrumental parts without singing, but at the same time they offer quite a lot in terms of their vocals. Like they have this kind of rappy stuff, and then they have various types of ways of singing, which I quite like. And I think all in all, some good sort of almost head boppy moments, some good sort of catchy chorus parts. So even though it is hard rock / metal, there's definitely plenty of elements there that appeal to me as well. And it wasn't one of those albums where I was like, oh, please, I've had enough. It's too much for me. Not at all. I thought it was just a good solid album with obviously songs that we already knew. And I was particularly impressed with PMS. I thought it was a really good song. Like I said, I know we have reacted to it, but I didn't remember liking it as much as I liked it listening to it just now on the album. So yeah, that was gets a thumbs up from me. What about you?
Yeah, agree with every single point that you made there. I might just add, I think what probably helped as well, not only obviously knowing some of the tracks, the fact that a lot of their songs aren't massively long songs either. And obviously it was a shorter album. Now, whether the songs were a lot longer and there was a lot more tracks in there, would we feel the same? Well, I guess we'll never really properly know for sure. But the point being is that I think that did probably help in VOB's favour. And yeah, and as you touched on, I said earlier, obviously it's definitely more enjoyable to watch them on screen, and like for me, doing the live versions as well. But as I said, I think you could make a case and argument for every album we've listened to, we've turned up for every artist generally. So yeah, still really pleased with VOB, and as you said very well on my behalf, had the sort of apprehensive, what was going to be like because of the style of music and all that. But yeah, a good solid album that I would happily listen to again. I still feel, for me personally, it's just taking those couple of good tracks that I really enjoy and have put them onto a playlist, and rather sort of sitting down and going to listen to the whole album. But also was really interesting, the point making, and I agree with it, with their voices, the range of voices, because when we did the competition, they were up against The Warning. The Warning, and it was always said that VOB actually better instrumental and their guitar playing and genre music, was The Warning as good as they are with that. It's their singing voices that's definitely a lot more powerful. That comes a lot more from there. But I said VOB, they do have good voices. They do have a lot of range of variety. So I think they could be more of a full package than potentially Warning in some regards. But yeah, well on VOB, enjoyed that. And if any have requests for stuff that comes out, feel free to request it, because I'm sure we'll be happy to listen to it. And I've just realised I've gone really dark, so actually
Got really dark.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel I've been talking for too long, so I'll be quiet now.
Yeah, okay. So that's it from us.
I'm gone.
So thank you for watching. We need more album requests, so please get them in, keep them coming, and we'll see you again soon for the next one. Take care, goodbye.